I'm Tiffany. Welcome to Towering TBR. I am a chronically ill booktuber who reads a wide variety of genres, although my favorite are sci-fi and nonfiction. Today I'm going to be reviewing a cozy queer mystery arc, an advanced reader copy that I received called Bored to Death by C.J. Connor. If after my review you're interested, this book will be coming out August 22nd, so you won't have long to wait. Please take a second to hit the like button and also subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Thank you. That really helps my channel. So the premise of the book is that Ben is a divorced queer man who comes back home when his father gets ill to help him run his board game shop. There are a lot of nerdy references, not only for board games, but books as well, which I really enjoyed. A man comes up to him named Clive, and he has an extremely rare copy of a board game, and he is trying to sell it to Ben. But Ben is pretty suspicious because the price just seems too good to be true. So he turns him down, and Clive leaves. Then later that night, Clive shows up knocking on the door, and he has a knife stabbed through his heart. And Ben and the nearby florist, who were in the shop the whole time, open the door to find Clive murdered and falling down dead on their doorstep. Ben and Ezra, who are romantically interested in one another, were with each other the entire time of the murder, so they have a rock-solid alibi. They call the cops and are interviewed, and I'm sure, told the police about this rock-solid alibi. But because Clive died on the bookstore and because they don't know who did it, Ben is like, oh, I need to solve the mystery so that they don't think it was me. And I think if the author had wanted to focus on a story that, yes, innocent people get railroaded and thrown in jail over circumstantial evidence, I think maybe that would have made it interesting, like for a reason for him to investigate this murder. But that's not what this is. This was a plot device to have Ben poke around and find out stuff. And even the cops are like, dude, you're not trained. You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't want to be messing with, talking to a murderer. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll stop. But I just got to keep doing it. And that really frustrated me because the plausibility just didn't seem realistic. Because this is a mystery, I was constantly looking for clues. And this is an arc, which means that it might be edited further before they release the final copy. But there were so many inconsistencies, especially in the beginning. It's Tuesday. No, it's Friday. No, I saw that customer a few days ago, but really they were earlier in today. The timeline got really screwy. And part of that's on the author, but part of it's on the editor. There was so many inconsistencies that I really lost trust in what the author was doing and why I should care about the characters. There was another inconsistency too, because in Ezra and Ben trying to investigate, they go speak to Ben's former youth pastor, and he's like, oh, I haven't seen him in 25 years. But then they say, oh, I remember you in high school, and they've made a big deal about Ben's 30th birthday, so it couldn't have been 25 years if he knew him in high school. So things like that really bothered me. Maybe it'll be fixed by the time the official book comes out, but I have to review what I was given, so that was really frustrating to read. The romance also felt kind of off. So Ben and Ezra start spending a lot of time together under the guise of investigating. And at some points, they seem really like a solid long-term couple. Like, for example, Ben gets really tired and overwhelmed, and Ezra's like, oh, I'll just whip up a meal for you. Or would intuit when Ben needed more support, and he would give it, and it felt really like they had known each other really well. And then other moments, they were nervous about being too strong about their romantic attraction. They're like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that because I don't even know if he likes me." And it's like, it seemed like the author wanted us to have the fizzy new excitement of a brand new relationship, but also this comfort with a long-term relationship, and it seemed really at odds with one another. I'll give you an example. After the murder, they put mini figurines from board games to try and recreate the murder. And Ezra says, "Put the knife figurine next to him, sort of in between his arm and stomach." I did so. He gave me a thumbs up. "Thank you, Ben. That really helps me visualize." And Ben responds with, "Anything for you. I mean," and tried to think of a clarification that would make that sound less suggestive of feelings. It's like, it's obvious that they like each other. Why would he want it to be less suggestive that he has feelings? Like, that just didn't work for me. I did like the writing quite a bit, though. It's quite funny in spots, and I'll share a couple more quotes. In an attempt to play a bluffing game, he says he tries to think of a happy place. He envisions his dog as she basked in the sun while I attempt to read Dune. I loved attempting to read Dune. It was so much easier to accomplish than actually finishing. And I really related to that. I love Dune, but it's not easy to get through. And so I thought that was pretty funny. I'll share one more quote that I liked. At the end, when Ben and Ezra are confronting the murderer, the killer says, "Well, just so you know, I'm fine with that," meaning Ezra and Ben being gay. "That's not why I'm threatening you with a knife. I'm very much an ally." Then he responds, "That's good, because a homophobic murderer is the last thing we need right now." And that line did get a snort out of me because I thought it was pretty funny. So overall, I really liked the concept of this book, but the lack of plausibility was a deal breaker for me. If you're a person who just likes the ride and it doesn't matter if it's unrealistic or not plausible, and you just want some cute, cozy, queer mystery, I would recommend it for you. Unfortunately, lack of plausibility is a deal breaker, and so I didn't really enjoy this book. I'm giving it 2 stars because there were definitely positives, and if an editor were to fix some of those inconsistencies, I think that this would be a much better book. I think because he lost my trust early on, I rated this more harshly. But if you are interested, it will be published on August 22nd, and I'm very thankful that I received a free advanced reader copy from Netgalley, so thank you. And let me know if you're going to check this book out, because I'm curious. Maybe plausibility is a deal breaker. Maybe it's not. I'm interested to know. All right, well, that's it from me. I hope you enjoy this review, even if you decide not to read it. And let's have a chat down in the comments below. Thanks for joining. Bye.